Irish songs collected in Vermont. And so, here we go.
These whistles here are made of aluminium, or for those of you from the States, aluminum. Aluminium. And it's advisable to kind of either keep them in a bag or in your suitcase or preferably down your trouser leg or somewhere where you can keep them warm, because they change tune, and if they're cold and then you blow hot air into them, they go about 3 or 4 cents sharp. Unfortunately, this was left in the back of the van, and I've only just brought it in a few minutes ago, so I'm probably going to be in E flat, and the lads here are in concert pitch. So what can we do? Oh, they're all out of tune. Usually you see John gives a longer introduction, I get a chance to blow hot air. This reminds me of I was pulled over by the guards last week. I had to blow into a bag. Imagine a teetotaler having to do a breathalyzer test. But the funny thing was, it was in Ennis, and I was coming home. It was 6 o'clock in the evening, and there was a kind of a police checkpoint, and I got pulled over. And the van guard, she suspected that I'd been drinking, so she asked me to step out of the vehicle. And after I stepped out of the vehicle, she was convinced I'd been drinking, so she asked me to blow into the bag. Thankfully, I passed the test. Colours. So she could sense my kind of dismay at me being stopped. I told her, I said, I don't drink, I'm a teetotaler. Never helped you. And, but this was the shocking part. She says, well, the reason I pulled you over was because of that, she says. And she points inside the car. I said, no, look, why? And what had happened, I'd gone and I'd got a Chinese takeaway. And it was sitting on the passenger seat of the car. Now, this is a good one. And she says, that's why I pulled you over. That's the oldest trick in the book, that one, she says. I says, how do you mean? Yeah, she says, we ask everybody that has a Chinese or an Indian takeaway or a pizza in the car to blow into a bag. Because that's what happens, she says. You finish work and you go for a couple of glasses of wine, and then you get a Chinese or an Indian to disguise the smell of the drink.
Ace detective work. Hercule Poirot in action there.
The moral of the story is, if you are happening to have a couple of babies after work, do not get a Chinese takeaway.
If you do, hide it.
Oh yeah, how's it coming? Oh yeah, for blowing into the whistle.
Hot air. Hot air.
Does that work?
That will get you off as well.
The Chinese wasn't that bad, it was quite nice.
I come from, in the fair city of Belfast, where my first breath was drawn, far away on some island, bound down as a slave. It was in my own country I first misbehaved. My dear old mother, she would caution me to leave off life rambling and shun bad company. And they will lead you astray, and you'll think on my words when I'm cold in the clay. To all her advices, but I did pay no heed, but still kept on rambling in my wicked career, robbing by night and plundering by day, maintaining fast dressing them gay. my wicked career, till the guardhouse policeman to me did appear, and I was taken convicted of high robbery, and got 7 long years in the penitentiary. 7 years transported, 7 years and a day, 7 years transported beyond the broad bay, and I've been on shipboard and money by me, bound down in strong iron, I'd have fought myself free. It's now I'm safe landed on my own native shore.